Thank you for joining me, Father Martin Badenhorst of the Dominican Order. Currently, I am parish priest in Our Lady of Mercy Parish in Springs, Johannesburg, South Africa. In this series, we look at Scripture and we make some points to help us understand more clearly what is being said to us in the here and the now. And we'll start at the beginning, an appropriate place to begin. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. It looks like a straightforward sentence. And of course, what we know in the English is a translation of the Hebrew. And the Hebrew sounds something like this. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. And there are a couple of features to that sentence which are peculiar. Hebrew has a habit of starting with the verb, the doing word, the action. And Hebrew, like a language like Italian or French or Portuguese or Spanish, the verb immediately tells you whether he or she or you or they or we or I am doing something. It's already contained in the verb. But the first verse of Scripture does not start with the verb. It starts with in the beginning, Bereshit. And the first letter of Scripture in Hebrew is our letter B, Bet. And it looks a bit, when you look at it, like a backward C that's gone a bit square. And that line, we read Hebrew from right to left in the opposite direction of English. We see that there's a solid line blocking off from our understanding and comprehension anything before the beginning. So the first letter of Scripture in Hebrew tells us, don't worry about what God was like before creation. That's not the purpose of the Scripture. The purpose of Scripture is to come to us in time. As soon as there is a beginning, it involves us. The next word after Bereshit, in the beginning, which is one word in the Hebrew, is the word bara. He created. That word bara is only ever used of God in the Scriptures. It is a unique act of God. So it's not like creating a painting or creating a clay model or casting a statue or even knitting a jersey. This action is unique to God, and only God does this action. And creation is not a once-off, it is an unfolding, because we hear in the beginning. And it leads us to understand that there is a continuing from the beginning. So in the beginning, God created. And we have an emphasis here. Bara means he created. And I've said the word is only ever used of God, so it's already implicit there. God creates. But then we find the Hebrew word for God, Elohim. It is a plural there. That im form in Hebrew often indicates a plural. Is there more than one God? No, there isn't, because bara is he, only a singular. So if it's a singular who creates, why is he referred to in the plural? Because of his majesty and greatness. He is greater than what we can comprehend or understand. And we tend to then speak to people in the plural who are better than we are or greater than we are. It's not so apparent in English anymore, but in English, for those of us who remember our Shakespeare, there's a difference between speaking to a single person whom you are friendly with, like Romeo speaking to Juliet, or Juliet speaking to Romeo. When Juliet stands on the balcony, she says, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" The thee and the thou form in Shakespearean English, meaning you in the singular. And it is only used for familiars, for people close to you, for people with a place in your heart, for people who are your social equal. When you speak to somebody of greater standing than yourself, you use the plural of thee and thou, which is you and your, in English, way back a couple of centuries ago. What has happened over time is that English has used the polite form for everyone, singular and plural. But that plural is still in some of our titles: your lordship, your worship, your majesty, your holiness. It is a plural you, indicating majesty, indicating stature. And so the Elohim there in the Hebrew indicates God's great stature as the only creator. And then we have the reference to what he creates. Et hashamayim. Et in Hebrew is a little particle, we don't translate it, and it tells you what the object of this sentence is, what is being affected by the action. Hashamayim, you hear that im again, it's a plural, the heavens, the and, et, what is being affected, haaretz, the earth. Hashamayim, ha meaning the, hashamayim, the heavens. Isn't there just one sky? Why is there a plural here again? It is because the heavens are two things: the heavens above and the heavens below. And I'll just leave that as a little mystery here for the time being. It becomes apparent why Shamayim, heavens, is a plural as the act of creation unfolds. So the heavens and the earth. And we get even there the idea with heavens, the heaven above and the heaven below, with the earth in the middle. So heavens above, heavens below, and the earth in the middle. There's a way in which the action in the first verse focuses down from the beginning of time, God's act of creation, God himself, the heavens, to where is the action actually taking place? The action is here on earth. And we'll see that pattern repeated as we go into the other verses. So what do we learn from the very first verse of Scripture? We can't speculate about anything before the earth is in place. We can't speculate fruitfully about that because it's blocked off from us. It's not anything we need to deal with. God's action here on earth is where our interest lies, where the focus is. And it is God creating a unique act which nothing and no one else can achieve. God is greater than what we can imagine, and so God is referred to in the plural, Elohim. The emphasis is not in heaven. The emphasis is on the earth, where the sentence ends. Et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting again. God bless.